Welcome back, everybody. We're back for us. It's been, I don't know, less than 10 minutes. But it's Sarcasm Speaks. It's Jared and Bob here with you. I have my Moon Brew now. I'll do the ad at the top of the show so you guys actually listen. Because I'm convinced that no one actually listens to the shit at the end of the episode. Because I usually turn it off at the end of the episode when there's like ads and thank you for all this shit. So yeah, if you guys want to sleep better, go to moonbrew.com. Use the promo code Jared16159. It's a dumb promo code, not the one that I wanted, but you'll get 10% off every single time you check out for your whole order over there. So again, Moon Brew, it's great stuff. I drink it I try to drink it every night. Sometimes I don't remember, but it's good. It's got all kinds of great minerals and shit in it that's really good for you and helps you sleep better. So I notoriously have horrible sleep, and when I drink this, I have decent sleep. So it helps me. If it helps me, it can certainly help you. So check it out. Now that that is out of the way, let me see what we got going on here.
I got an opening thought for today.
All right, I like it. Lay it on me.
So, after 10 years of playing golf, back to like getting back into it after high school, I made my first eagle.
Whoa.
5 weeks ago, Eastward Ho. Made my second eagle today.
Fuck yeah.
Hit a 300.
Sharon?
Yep, hit a 300-yard drive off at Sharon. Had 182 to the pin. Hit it to 18 feet. Rolled it in. Fucking game's easy.
Yeah, I don't know why people struggle so much.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Rolled in a 25-footer, an 18-footer. Probably missed a 7-footer. Hit the green from 182, drew it in against the wind, let it take the slope, run up and around. But then, from 48 yards, I fucking hit it to 42 feet on a different hole.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why people have such a tough time with it. But yeah, so now I've got 2 eagles in the last 5 weeks, which is the same amount I've had in the last 10 years.
Well, that's pretty good. I'd say that's a solid average. So, yeah, I mean, that's impressive.
And it was at Sharon.
Yeah, I think that makes it a little bit more impressive, right? Because Sharon is such a pain in the dick. Still got to find a day where I can come remind myself how much I hate golf.
That's true.
Get over there.
That is true. You've seemed way too optimistic about golf lately.
Yeah. So I was gonna golf yesterday, but that was not happening after I slept for 4.5 hours the night before. So I did not golf yesterday. I might try and get out tomorrow though. Another twilight round. So we'll see. I've become fond of those. All right. So let's see. I have to try and pull this up. But so recently, I don't have exact numbers here yet, but recently, it was announced that the United States had some faulty bookkeeping. Oh no, I can't go that far back in Roca. Oh, that's a fucking pain in the dick. Because that was I read it from them. So I'm not going to be able to have exact numbers for you. But the United States bookkeeping was a little bit off. There was a miscalculation in the amount of money that has been sent to the Ukraine.
Huh.
So, not to worry though, because the exact amount was lower than was actually reported. So, because of that, I know everyone is, really concerned about that. Obviously they need more money. So the government has come out and said, oh, well, don't worry. This allows us to send even more money to the Ukraine. Um, Again, like I said, I don't have exact numbers for you because I can't find it. But it was I think it was from like last week or the week before. So whatever it was, I think they were maybe like $3 billion short, like roughly. So whatever, so the way it worked out, the way I read it in the article was the United States, what they do is all of this money that they come out and they say they're giving to Ukraine, most of it they're actually giving to Lockheed Martin and Boeing and General Dynamics and all of these, the military industrial complex. Um, and then those companies develop new weaponry and they take all the old stuff and they send it to Ukraine. So, like, when the government comes out and goes, oh, we just sent another $42 million to Ukraine, of that 42 million, I don't know, maybe 10 million actually went to the country. And then the other 32 million went to the military industrial complex to create new weapons. So we can send the old shit to Ukraine. Um, so the calculating error came in when they appraised the weapons that they sent at the cost value. Again, I'm if someone who actually knows what's going on and like knows these words are going to be like, you're a fucking moron, but I'm doing my best here. So they appraised all the weapons they sent at the cost value instead of appraising them at the depreciation value, right? So like think about it in like a car. If you're going to sell someone, like if we were going to give a bunch of cars to Ukraine instead of guns, right? Say we took a bunch of 2017 Toyota Camrys, right? That their value is valued at $19,000 a pop. Well, we credited or accounted, right, that the car we sent, every Camry we sent to this country was $19,000. When in reality, a 2017 Toyota Camry that is worth $19,000 brand new today in 2023, it may only be worth $16,000 or $15,000. So we on the books put the $19,000 mark versus the $15,000 mark. So that's how we over reported what we sent. And now everyone is thrilled. And by everyone, I mean the military industrial complex, because this now means that the United States government can send more money because they just found money, right? They just found free money. And they're going to send even more of it to these
They
companies.
didn't find shit though.
Well, yeah, it was in the budget. It was they budgeted incorrectly.
Yeah, but they budgeted without tangible money.
But yeah, I mean, it's the
This sounds like a ruse.
probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it's a ruse because let's just say, so we're sending them 20 Toyota Camrys, right?
Yeah.
And these 20 Camrys, they're 20 grand a piece. So 20 times 20,000, that's 400 grand, right?
Yep.
It is. Now, in actuality, that's only worth 13 a piece at 20. That's 260,000. So that difference there is 140,000. The only problem is that's not money. That's only in like a fucking tax line that they found this money or underreported this money. It's not money. Like that, like that's the thing, is it's not like we're arguing semantics here,
Yeah.
because now obviously they have to so they got to compensate those companies correctly, which they may have or may not have. But
Yeah, they're going to be
so if they
sending
went,
more.
so yeah, so if they went to those companies and said, "Hey, we're going to give you the money for those 20 Camrys." How actually, you know what? I don't know how this works. I'm not good enough at like taxes and math. Because again, we're not dealing with, because we're not dealing with money.
Right.
Or we're dealing with money on one end, but like a value on the other end.
Yeah. So it's like the government pays. So I think the way it works is the government pays Lockheed Martin, right? X amount of dollars for 20 Toyota Camrys. And then Lockheed then sends those Camrys to Ukraine.
Yeah, but then in
But
this,
now we realize that, yeah, how does that work?
it
Because if
doesn't
they
work.
overpaid,
It doesn't work. They're using this, like that's why I'm saying it's a ruse.
yeah. So I found an article online. I couldn't find it on Roka News, but I found the article online. It's $3 billion that they over accounted for.
But it, and that's it. But it's not. It's 3,000 in fucking tax words.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we were supposed to give them a check. Like it's not like Congress approved giving them a check for 40 million, 40 billion, whatever. I don't know how many. I don't know what unit we're even fucking talking here. And then like they just like didn't get the money. That's not what happened. We're talking like assets and, yeah, like assets and depreciation, and you're paying a company to do X but receiving back Y. It's super fucking complicated. But someone would have to explain it better to me. I'm struggling to see how misvaluing commodities or tangible items. I'm struggling to see how miscalculating that now gives you more money. There isn't more money. There never was money.
Yeah.
Value's all fucked up.
Yeah. I don't really know. I just trying to read this article really quickly. And it says the Pentagon said that it overcounted the value of weapons and other equipment sent to Ukraine by roughly $3 billion, an error that means that more U.S. defense funds will now be available to support the effort. So again, all this does is benefit the military industrial complex because now they're getting $3 billion more of money.
Well, at least it's better than just blindly going to another country.
Yeah, that's true. Kind
But
of.
I assume the military and, I mean, are those not American companies?
Yeah, but they're kind of the reason why our government is fucked.
There's a lot of reasons why our government's fucked.
Yeah, I think it starts with the massive amount of money that these companies pump into politics, but
Yeah,
that's just my
see, I
opinion.
was gonna blame politicians first and foremost.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, they're taking the money and then they're now beholden to these people,
Right.
right? So like this whole thing that, you know, so here's a perfect example in this exact article, why all politicians are cunts, because everyone feigns outrage when Joe Biden says he's going to send more money to Ukraine, right? Well, the Republicans, according to this article, it says the Pentagon's discovery drew fire from Republicans. House Armed Services Committee Chairman Mike Rogers of Alabama, whatever, all this other person, released a joint statement that said the revelation of a $3 billion accounting error discovered 2 months ago and only shared today with Congress is extremely problematic, to say the least, right? So they're like, oh yeah, this everyone's fucked. Yeah, this is awesome. You think like, oh, the Republicans are about to lay the hammer. Nope. Don't worry. Because now they're saying these funds, in the same statement, these funds could have been used for extra supplies and weapons for the upcoming counteroffensive instead of rationing funds to last for the remainder of the fiscal year. Republicans then urged the administration to, quote, make up for this precious lost time by using more funds to provide Ukraine with more advanced weapons and systems that can tip the conditions on the battlefield in their favor. So now you have the Republicans being like, we need to take all this money that we just found and send it to Lockheed and General Dynamics and Boeing and Raytheon because we have to. So
something's a rotten in Denmark.
Yeah. You have the Democratic administration that everyone is poo-pooing on for everything they're doing about Ukraine. But then the second they find more money, you have Republicans saying, well, we have to send that money to these companies. We have to support Ukraine by sending money to General Dynamics. Right? Like that's literally what's happening. They're quite, and this is what like the average person probably has no idea, which is fine, right? Like it's not like a bad thing, but people don't understand that when they say they're sending $42 million to Ukraine this week, they're not, putting $42 million in silver briefcases and shipping them over. Like they're sending, like I said, probably $10 million is getting sent to their government earmarked. I know at one point stuff was earmarked for their pension funds. Like the United States, our tax dollars, you and I, our tax dollars, and all of you listening and watching on YouTube that are going to click subscribe and thumbs up, our tax dollars are paying for the pensions of government employees in the Ukraine right now. We are floating their government pension system.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. When our Social Security is projected to run out by 2048 or something like that, we can't do anything to help the Social Security that's going to run out in 30 years, call it. But we can float an entire country's government pension system. So remember that the next time the politicians are like, oh yeah, no, we're for you, we care about you. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care about us.
Never have.
They're literally, that was my original point. They're literally saying, we're going to help. It doesn't even need to be Ukraine, right? It's just because it's in the news. But we're going to help Ukraine by sending millions of dollars to Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. Like, if you said that to an average person on the street, now I know most people are stupid. I believe 98% of people are stupid. If you, even that average person, if you were like, hey, do you think sending $15 million to Raytheon is a good way to help the Ukraine? I'd be willing to bet that at least 5 out of 10 people on the street would say no. Yet, that is quite literally what's happening.
Do we still stand with Ukraine? Like, are we still doing that?
Yeah, man. You don't still have the flag in your bio? Your Twitter bio? Or are you a bigot?
Probably more than a bigot.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, I guess you don't have to take it out. I was going to say people have to start swapping it out for the gay flag starting in June, but they'll just add it in. So they'll just have like 6 different flags in their fucking Twitter bio.
Why? What's happening in June?
It's Pride Month. It's
Oh.
when every major corporation pretends to like gay people, which is another thing. Everyone's like, oh, what a dick. Like, why would you say that? Because it's true. Like, look at it for what it is. Every single major corporation, right, and sports team, they change their logo to be a rainbow tinted of their normal logo for the month of June. And they say, we're helping gay people. What are you actually doing that's helping gay people besides making a new logo with a rainbow colored palette on it?
One of my favorite things is as February starts winding down, the memes coming from Black Twitter about Black History Month.
Oh, yeah.
That's always usually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty
They're
good.
like, oh, corporations going back to their offices on Monday when it's gonna be March, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the hilarious part too is you get the same thing for the end of June. You get, like the memes, like the side by side memes, they'll show like whatever, like Home Depot, right? I don't know if they actually do this or if Home Depot actually does, but it's the first company that popped into my head. It'll be like June 1 through June 30. It's the Home Depot logo that's a rainbow color instead of orange. And then it's July 1st and it's Home Depot red, white, and blue now. And it's like flags and shit everywhere. And it's like they're literally just doing it so you'll give them your money because they're afraid that if they don't do it, you won't spend money there.
No, they actually care, dude.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure some people do, right? Like, I'm sure some companies give to causes and charities and help LGBTQ community. I'm sure there are some out there. But the vast majority of them probably don't. I hate to be that guy, but most likely
It's all bullshit.
it's all bullshit. So there you have it. Everything sucks. Everybody and everything. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this is a fun one. I saw this today. So Germany is trying to press charges and arrest Roger Waters, the
Pink
the
Floyd.
lead singer of Pink Floyd. Yes.
Oh, isn't he fucking way off the deep end now?
Um, I don't know if he's way off the deep end, but so he's always been a political activist, right? Like all the way. That's what Pink Floyd does. That's, The Wall, like that album, like everything. They've always done. They've always been pretty outspoken, and had political opinions. Now, as someone who is a very big fan of Pink Floyd, and I do like Roger Waters, I think he actually is a very well-spoken, put together guy. So this is funny. Did you actually hear somewhere that like he's gone off the deep end, or did you just kind of like gather that?
I remember a while ago he was like rambling on and on about something. I don't really remember. It was a while ago. So I just naturally assumed that he was just fucking lost his mind.
Yeah. So I was gonna say that would most likely be like that control the narrative type of thing that the mainstream media does, or still tries to do, but used to do a lot more, where they just kind of like push this narrative that's like, oh yeah, no, Roger Waters, he's crazy. He's doing stuff we don't like. Oh yeah, no, Roger Waters he's nuts. He's off the deep end. He's lost it. When in reality, he's actually like pretty well put together and thoughtful. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast a couple months ago. And again, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think he's a very thoughtful individual. he has some strong political opinions, but you don't have to agree with them, right? They're his opinions on certain things. So that doesn't mean that he's right or wrong or indifferent. And again, to me, he makes pretty good fucking music, and I enjoy his songs. So he got in trouble because he played a concert in Berlin, and he wore an outfit that could be construed as a Nazi uniform. He wore a black trench coat with a red armband that had I think it's either a hammer and sickle or two hammers on the armband. And he's been wearing this one outfit in his concerts for years. Like it's like part of his act. Like he's like, again, he's literally been doing it forever. But because he's been a little bit in the news recently, he shredded a reporter from CNN a couple months ago also, because the reporter tried to like ask him something and like get him in a corner, and he absolutely just like landed facts on him about certain things. So a lot of people don't like him because they claim he's anti-Semitic. But his thing is that he doesn't like the extreme violence that the nation of Israel engages in against Palestine. He just thinks that it's like bullying, basically. So he was in Germany, sang a concert, wore a black trench coat with a red armband that had two crossed hammers on it, or a hammer and sickle, whatever. And now they're trying to arrest him in Germany. Because
kind of read up on it. But yeah, I think people are grasping at straws.
Yeah. I think so too. I think everyone is just fucking soft.
Yeah, they're kind of making like this. They're kind of making some leaps. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's like you really can't draw the lines here because it's like. So I think part of the issue too. So it's part the costume, it's part his criticism of Israel. I guess one of the venues that he performed at was like a landmark for Kristallnacht or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I got a couple questions. If that venue's so problematic, why is it still standing?
Yeah.
That was like 85 years ago. Fucking knock it down.
Yeah. Also, I mean, again, my history might be a little off. Also, I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure at least, all of Germany was somewhat involved in one way or another in whether the Holocaust or the war itself. So to single out one spot and be like, this one spot is associated with Kristallnacht, and it's like, okay, but then isn't everything else in this area also with Kristallnacht? Like, I don't know. Like, isn't this other air like Berlin, right? Like, okay, are you not allowed to go to East Berlin anymore because it was under Russian occupation? Like, I don't understand. Oh, well, you can't perform in that arena because that's in East Berlin and everyone knows what East Berlin used to be. Like, okay, but like, aren't we past that?
Oh, say I believe they knocked down the wall.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah. And it's
knows?
like, oh, that would be like going up to someone and being like, oh, this house that you live in, yeah, an SS officer used to live in this house. How dare you? It's like, Okay, that was
I mean, if we're
85 years ago.
if we're gonna do that, knock it fucking down.
Exactly. Yeah, to your point, like yeah, that's just dumb. Like, oh, this one venue was associated with Crystal Knot. Okay, I'm sure a million other fucking places in the country were also associated with Crystal Knot. Like literally anything that was built prior to 1945 probably had some fucking, something to do with something. And even the new stuff, right? Like if they built like a brand new soccer stadium in 2010 somewhere, there's a solid chance that the area that the soccer field was built on has some connection to something fucked up, right? It's like, if you want to play this game, like we can play this game. Like it's just this really fucking stupid game to play.
Yeah, so again, like the article I kind of tried to rip through quickly. It just, yeah, it seems like people are just grasping at straws.
Yeah.
And like it's like one of those things too where it's like, oh well, you know, well, don't have him here. It's like, all right, well, we already signed a contract. Like generally those are legally binding.
Yeah, typically.
So people were pissed about that again. The costume thing. Now, I will say black trench coat, red armband. Couldn't have worn anything else.
Yeah.
Like, had to wear that in Germany.
Yeah.
Just had to.
I mean, it did say in the article that I read that he's been wearing that same outfit for years.
No problem. But you had to wear it in Germany and expected it not to be a fucking thing.
I mean, maybe he's worn it in Germany before. If he's been wearing it for years, maybe he wore it before, but like now all of a sudden they're trying to go after him, right? Like, who knows? We don't know. I haven't been in any concerts, any Roger Waters concerts in Germany. So, like, who's to say that like 3 years ago he didn't do a concert in Germany and wear the same outfit, but because things were different 3 years ago, like the news was different, right? No one said anything. Well, it wouldn't have been 3 years ago because that was COVID.
It would have been a long time ago.
You call like 4 or 5 years ago.
My only thing, if you don't want controversy and you can do certain things to change that, then do it.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing. The costume doesn't matter, but it's a fucking problem. So yeah, I mean, dude, this thing's like understood. Like it's not a Nazi uniform, but it's pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
Or at least sets the gives off the vibes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. He's like, oh, let's, again, it's like arguing semantics. I wear this all the time. It's like, yeah, man, but like, did you fucking have to? No, you know what? You did though, because you're so much fucking smarter than everybody else. That's why. And it's like, no, you did because you know it's not an issue, except you know what? You're smart enough. You know it's a fucking issue. And you could have not fucking worn it, but you did anyway.
Yeah.
So here we fucking are.
Yep.
Like people don't like you anyway, and then you do that. So you're just fucking trolling these people. That's all you're doing.
That's basically what he's doing.
So then when they come back at you, now it won't amount to anything. But when they come back at you, there's no surprise now. Like this is how this goes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like you said, he knows what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing. But then, yeah, on the other side of it, it's like, well, he performed at this venue. It's like, well, why the fuck is it? If it's so bad, why is it still a venue?
Yeah.
Like,
but you can never win with these people because even if they do knock it down and build a new venue in the same spot, people are like, well, it's the same spot. This one spot. This is what happened.
Or you're erasing what happened to those Jewish people.
Yeah. 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 So you can never win.
Because it would be like almost like knocking down like a slave quarters here. And it's like, Well, it's disrespectful to them. It's like, so having the slave quarters is bad, and using it for anything would be bad.
Yeah.
But knocking it down is bad.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
When did
So,
Germans become such pussies, by the way?
um,
Was it like right
somewhat,
around 1949?
I was going to say somewhat recently, probably within, I mean, probably yes, after, in the 50s, but I
I'd
think
say
more,
more like what, the 89 when the
yeah, I
wall
would
came
say
down?
more so in the last like 30 to 40 years. They became massive fucking pussies, which I think the wall came down in, was it 89? Something like that.
Ish.
Yeah.
Plus or minus.
I call it the last 30 years. They became massive vaginas.
Yeah.
So,
It's like the fucking nihilists in the Big Lebowski.
all right. One more thing before we wrap it up here. So I recently, again, I don't know when this episode is coming out. I think it's coming out next Monday, but recently went to a golf simulator for the first time. So I went to X Golf in Lincoln. Um, Shout out to Mary, listener of the show. She got us a gift card to there, I think for Christmas. Yeah, I think for Christmas. Because I think me, Nick, and Dan all got one. So we went, Amy and I went Friday. Unfortunately, things didn't go too hot for her with the whole, being pregnant thing. Swinging a golf club didn't last very long. So it ended up being me swinging a golf club for an hour and a half. Um, but I took some time to do some practice, like at the range, to see distances and spin rate and all that shit that you can see, and attack angle and whatever. Um, and then I played at Pebble virtually, right? Um, and Amy putted for me. So I would just play like, whatever tee in the fairway. And then when it was putting time, she would putt. So I also could take a little bit of a break, because swinging a golf club nonstop for a while is very fucking exhausting. So all in all, pretty cool experience. It's just, I think I did it wrong. Right? Like if I were going to go strictly to practice, again, to see like, club head speed, ball speed, like that. So if I wanted to get like a real technical practice session in, I would probably only book 30 or 60 minutes, right? Like I had it for an hour and a half thinking that like Amy and I would go and, we would, warm up a little bit and then like play at a course, right? Virtually. 90 minutes was way too long to basically play by myself. So I think I would, I mean, I know I would go back and do it again, but I would just have to plan better, right? Again, I mean, we had no idea that, her back was going to fucking seize up and she wasn't going to be able to actually swing a golf club. But yeah, I think I would just need to do it better. Like if I was going to be there for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, I would want to play with multiple people. Again, just because swinging a golf club that much gets really fucking tiring. Um, so yeah, again, simulators pretty fucking cool. I think I'll probably utilize them obviously a little bit more in the winter, but then obviously everyone does, so they get busy. But I think it's cool to be able to see things like club head speed and ball speed and um what's it actually called? It's not called attack angle, but it's like the deviation in your swing, whether you're swinging like out to in or into out. Like what is that called?
Okay, so that's club path.
That's club path. Okay.
Angle of attack
is
is
vertical. Like you're either coming like into it or like with the driver, you're swinging up with it. So
right.
I know that. But
Yeah, so
um,
club path is which way. That's like all the out to in, whatever.
right, right. So like that part is helpful to me, like all that stuff. So the spin rate is whatever, like it doesn't really mean a ton to me. But I do like being able to see those like advanced stats. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll probably utilize it a little bit more in the winter, just to see things like that. Um, but yeah, also again, I just need to plan better.
Yeah, simulator can be tough. I always I don't really love the simulator for practice. I like um playing it for fun. That's how I've always enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um I believe like I have a running hypothesis that I swing differently inside than out.
Yeah. So
So
that
I don't
was
want to
another
blame
thing.
I don't want to blame the technology because the technology only reads what it reads. Now some
Yeah.
technology can be better than others, but it only reads what it reads.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I never do this. I never do this. I never do this. It's like, yeah, man, but it keeps happening and you fucking do it in here for whatever reason.
Yeah. I did notice that. I don't know if it was like the turf or what, but some weird things were happening, like with the swing, like it was, I don't know, like it just, it wasn't even like being at a range, right? Like even being at a driving range, like I can hit the ball fine and if you're on turf still, but I don't know if it was because it was a different kind of turf in here or like if it's just like the close setup or whatever. But there was definitely some like weird differences I noticed going on. Um, yeah, it's a good thing you brought that up because I did think about that. And I forgot to make a point of it. But yes, I agree with you that it gets a little weird sometimes with the simulator. I don't know if it's because it sits on, at least at this place. Um,
Do you know what technology it was?
I
You don't have to.
don't. I don't know. I would imagine it was either a GC or a TrackMan. Like I don't. I figure
It might
it's.
not be because simulator software is different than launch monitor software.
Oh, okay. Also, those are really fucking expensive too, and I think there was
They're
six
all
bays. If it was like
they're all
20,
super
yeah, if
expensive.
that's 20 grand a pop, and you got six of those,
Bro, to
that's
build a fucking bay is like 100 grand.
yeah, that's wild. Um,
Which one? X
so
Golf and Lincoln? You didn't go to Walpole, right?
no, no,
Go ahead.
but yeah, so the mat that you have to hit it off of is different than the mat that you stand on. It's like a separate piece. I don't know. It's a little strange, right? It takes some getting used to. But you know, like I said, all in all, generally positive experience for my first time at a public simulator, right? Obviously, I've used the one that you guys I used the SkyTrack at your gym a million times. Um, but that was also like range practice, right? Like I didn't like play a course or anything with that. So
Yeah. I wonder if they have their own thing. NEX
oh,
technology.
could be.
Worldwide golf. Yeah, I don't know what they use.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Um, the cool thing though is like I was fucking around at one point with the driver and I got the club head speed up to 111. So that's the fastest it got. But I mean, I'm swinging like a dickhead.
Yep.
But I think I was consistently right around between like 100 to 105 on average. So I don't know what that usually translates to. I mean, ideally, right? It's smash factor, right? You would get somewhere around 150-mile-an-hour ball speed
Yep.
out of that if
I
you
don't
have
know
a
all like the
perfect.
yeah, I don't know all the
Yeah.
multipliers either. It's
Yeah.
like I want to say it might be like 2.4 for club head speed, but it depends on how you strike it.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's like people that know it's wild. Like if you tell them the ball speed, they'll tell you exactly how far the ball went. And they'll be pretty fucking close, right? Like if you're like, oh, this was 151 ball speed, like,
Yeah, I
oh,
want to say it's like 1.8.
yeah, you went 270 yards.
50 times.
And it's like pretty fucking close. Again, I don't know that information, but I've heard some people talk like that.
Yeah, I want to say it's like 1.8.
Yeah.
But
Makes
like
sense.
how you launch the ball can change that though.
Right. Right.
Because like you can get 150 ball speed with the fucking face 12 degrees closed, swinging out to in, and it's a dead
Right.
fucking pull.
Right. Right. So yeah. Cool stuff.
Yeah,
Like I
never been
said.
to X Golf. I've been to a few simulators and I've used a few launch monitors.
Yeah.
They piss
Yeah.
me off. They're just like such a bummer because for me it always comes back to it's not real golf.
Yeah.
and then I want to play real golf.
Yeah. Yeah.
But winter, fine. I don't know. It's hard for me. It's like, would I rather go to the simulator or would I rather just fucking not? And I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I also don't hit well off mats. Because generally I come into the ball a little bit steeper with my irons, and you can't do that with a mat.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. Like I said, I certainly will go back at some point. But like I said, I think it's got to be the right setting, right? Shorter time if it's just a straight like range practice session, or the longer time if you're going with like 2, 3, 4 people, um, to make it so you're not fucking dying.
yeah, it's sneaky how long it can take too. Is it hour and a half? It probably takes like 3 hours to play 18 holes with 4 people. Maybe less. I don't know why. It's like sneaky long.
Yeah.
But in other news of less than ideal golf, I imagine you saw the Top Golf net up
I
when you
did.
drove up the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. We're moving along here.
Yeah, I don't know when it's supposed to actually be open, but
Yeah. I think I saw the fall.
that would make sense.
Yeah. So that'll be absolutely insane for probably 3 months. And then it'll just be regular busy
Yeah,
for a
then
while.
it'll just be cold.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they do have the heated bays, but like, I don't know.
Still cold.
Yeah, it's still really fucking cold. Like when it's the middle of January and it's 12 degrees outside, like I don't care.
Still cold.
I don't care about a heated bay.
And
That's
God
way too
forbid the
fucking
wind is
cold.
coming at you.
Oh yeah. No thanks.
Good fucking luck. Because
Yeah.
those things do get cooking, but like not that hot.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll finally have Top Golf in Massachusetts again to use it for about 8 months out of the year. But at least we'll have it. So you want to wrap things up?
We can wrap this up.
All right.
So do you like Kalamata olives?
I do. I actually love Kalamata olives.
Good.
Those are my favorite olives.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, because you hate them.
No, I actually really like them as well.
Oh, okay.
So Michaela, not a fan. She's not an olive guy. Doesn't make her a bad person. Just the fact of the case.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's the olive theory from How I Met Your Mother.
I've never seen this show
Oh,
or heard
it's
of
like
this.
I think it's like every successful relationship they claim has one person that loves olives and one person that hates olives.
Does
So
Amy
that
hate
when
olives?
Amy hates olives, yeah. So that when you get them in a store or like on a salad at a restaurant, all of the olives go to one person. I don't know. It was a fucking sitcom. Like anyone out there that's like, what the fuck? I don't know, dude. It was a sitcom
Yeah,
from like
take it up with
the
them.
2010s. Like, go take it up with Jason Segel.
So I like olives. So I go when so the last few times she's been away, I've made like a stripped down puttanesca,
Ooh.
which puttanesca, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's nasty." And I remember, uh, Jaimo's father made it one time, and it was fucking lights out. It was
Oh,
so fucking
yeah.
good when he made it, and I don't know how he did it. I've tried to make it since. It's not as good. Um, so I was on Instagram one day, and I think the guy's name's like Carlo Gaiano or something. He's Italian. It's like the fucking shit's in Italian. So I've got this fucking recipe that's in Italian, not even like
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
not only do I would I have to use translate to figure out what the ingredients actually are, but everything's like grams and fucking shit like that. So he made a sauce, um, cherry tomatoes, cut them in half,
Mhm.
Kalamata olives, oil garlic. Start with that.
Yeah.
Throw that in some capers, some tomato paste. Let it cook down. Then you cook your pasta. Add the pasta water. That starts to make it like more cohesive, whatever. And I noticed that he didn't have the anchovies in there because I made a puttanesca when she was gone one time, and I'm like, I thought I didn't mind anchovies, but I'm getting bites of this puttanesca that is just fucking like wrong. Like something's not right. Whether I
Yeah.
didn't prepare it correctly,
Right.
something went wrong here, and I don't like it. So I saw his recipe and I was like, oh, there's no anchovies. I'm like, well, I'll give that a shot. Like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
And then I think I like forgot to buy capers one day or thought I had capers or something. And then I realized I don't like those either. So I fucking left those out too. So now I make this sauce. It's just like oil, garlic, cherry tomatoes cut in half, um, Kalamata olives, tomato paste, and I just like pasta water, whatever. And I really like it because I like the olives. So I was making it on Friday. She wasn't here. And I'm like fucking hungry because I worked, I went shopping, and now I gotta like make dinner. So I'm sitting there, I'm hungry. So I'm like cutting the tomatoes, I still have some left, got the olives, I'm making the food, whatever. So I take like the rest of the olives and the rest of the tomatoes, dump it in a bowl, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of cheese, like whatever. So needless to say, the jar of olives is gone
Easily.
between the
Yeah.
sauce and me eating them. Absolutely gone. And the food came out good. So I made the pasta. I split it. Like I ate half of what I made and then just saved the other half for the next day. Again, olives are gone, tomatoes are gone. Next day, my stomach is in fucking shambles. I was like, wow. I either super fucking dehydrated myself or that's just like too many olives for human consumption.
It's probably way too much fat. Like the olive oil, the olives, like all of the fat probably just fucking turned your GI tract into a slip and slide.
I kind of forgot that olives are cured in fat. They're cured in oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because fuck, man, dude. Like, it was tough. It was tough. My stomach was fucking rocked.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll get you. But I
But
mean, delicious, right? I'm
the rest,
sure.
I would say the recipe's pretty good.
Yeah, I might try that now.
Let me
Yeah, can you send it
I
to
think I
me?
got it saved. It's in Italian though. Just watch, honestly, just watch the video and disregard his portion sizes.
Yeah, that'll work. Easy enough.
This it? Yeah, this is it. And the one I'm sending you, um, I don't use capers because I don't like them.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably modify it too. So, all right, I'll check that out. My final thought, will be a relatively quick one. So Amy and I were watching the show that we just finished this past weekend called Citadel. It's on Amazon Prime, and it was very good. So it stars Richard Madden, which is which one was he? Shit. He wasn't Todd Flanders from Game of Thrones, but he was the other one. He was the other brother.
Oh
Um,
God, I don't even
he was
remember
he was
that.
Rob Stark. For anyone that didn't listen to the show when we were watching Game of Thrones, it was like, what the
There
fuck?
were too
Todd
many
Flanders
fucking
wasn't
people.
in Game
Yeah,
of
there were too
Thrones.
many people. I couldn't keep up with that
Yeah,
shit.
Cliff Notes was Bob created new character titles for all the people in Game
In
of
a
Thrones.
in a way that I could remember.
Yeah, yeah. And Jon Snow was Todd Flanders.
Because Ned was his father.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
The
But
Nightman.
yeah, Rob Stark was Jon Snow's brother. He was a pretty popular character on the show.
So Rod Flanders.
Rod Flanders. Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
No,
Maybe
because I think didn't he die in like that
the wedding.
okay, yeah. So I never saw that episode, and that was fairly early on, right?
Yeah, season 3, the end of
So
season
that was
3.
season 3, and I know you picked and chose. What the fuck is that
Yeah.
English? I know you I know you watched it a bunch, but I think like when I was like around in Mansfield, you were like picking and choosing which episodes. You
Yeah.
probably put that one on. I assume you did.
Yeah.
I just probably wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it was to get ready for the final season, I think it was.
Hey, good thing you geared up.
Yeah, I know, right? To get let down. Um, so
Although
yeah,
was it the whole season bad, or was it just the final episode?
no, it was like the last 2 episodes. And to be fair, me personally, I think it was fine. Like it was rushed. You could tell. I think they only did 7 episodes, and like most seasons were, I think, 8, 9, or 10 episodes. Like as the seasons went on, they got shorter. I think the first few seasons were 10. And then like maybe season 7 was 8 episodes. And then season 8, this final season was only 7 episodes. But again, I think it was mostly fine. But that's beside the point. So Richard Madden is in it, and he stars with Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who's married to one of the Jonas brothers. She's great. Richard Madden is awesome. I like him in a lot of things that he's been in. And also Stanley Tucci is in it as well. So I mean, Stanley Tucci's been in a million things. So basically, quick synopsis is like it's a spy show, and it's like traditional like action spy crazy, espionage stuff. And there's a lot of weird shit that happens, and there's a crazy like twist and turn. There's a couple small twists, but there's like a massive twist at the end. That was pretty good. Like it tied it all together. So my only critique of this show is that I wish it was longer. Like whether the episodes were longer or there were more of them. I could have used a little bit more development in like either the characters or the plot or whatever, just like in general. Because it was only 6 episodes long, and every episode is like somewhere between like 45 minutes to an hour. So they're all like hour less episodes. So it's really easy to like, if you wanted to binge watch it in a day, Like you could get through it. It's going to take you less than 6 hours to get through all 6 episodes. So it can be done in a day. But it feels like so much happened, but like nothing happened at the same time. Right? Like that's just kind of like my biggest critique of it, is that, like, I know we said this for when we were reviewing the like the Marvel, the Netflix Marvel shows. We were like, oh, it was 13 episodes. It probably could have been 10. This was 6 episodes, and it probably could have been 8. Like they probably could have done well making it 8 episodes, given a little bit more substance and like not rushing through some of the things at times. But even that said, it was still a great show. Like I still really enjoyed it. Again, that was my only critique of it, and it's not a big one. So again, it's called Citadel. It's on Amazon Prime, and now all 6 episodes are out. And because it was one of those where like they released one a week for 6 weeks, and the last one just came out last weekend. So obviously we're done with it. Yeah, it's great. So now, like I said, if you wanted to watch it, you could watch them all in a day. I had to wait 6 weeks and watch each one. So good show. Check it out. I recommend it. So that is going to do it for us. Thank you for joining us here. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe and then the like button. Tell everybody you know about the show. If you're an audio only listener as well, you can do the same thing. Like, rate, review. Again, tell people, tell everybody. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod, on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks, Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks, our website, sarcasmspeaks.com. Go to the merch store, buy some merch, buy some Moon Brew that I talked about at the top of the episode. With that promo code Jared16159. And then you can go to grillyourassoff.com and use the promo code sarcasmpod to get 10% off your entire order every single time you check out. Great stuff at grillyourassoff.com. And then you can go to mybookie.com, use the same promo code sarcasmpod to double your first deposit up to $1,000. So that is going to do it for us. Until next time, good night, everybody.